All right, so over the weeks, whatever. Uh, on the river basically said that there are more people in the NBA that could play in the NFL than vice versa. Which to be honest, I was like, I haven't really heard any debate against this. Um, I do think that yes, the NBA players going to NFL would be an easier transition, and they yes, I don't think he's wrong. I think if you said 30 right now, yeah, I was like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do think that. See, I think he's right. That's not what I'm saying. I think it's really more about, especially nowadays, is the way that everybody shoots. NFL players wouldn't be able to. I think that. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that NBA players would be able to just go into the NFL and nothing like that. Cause none of them dudes are getting hit. I was like, they get hit the way they get hit in the NBA and go to the ref and all the other stuff. But some of it is just like, hey, yo, he fouling me. You try to get a call. A lot of like same thing with like pass interference in the NFL, and holding and stuff. But you getting rocked sometimes, and I'm like, you're not that you can't do that in the NBA or in the NFL. But I was like, but you said 30. I was like, yeah, because even somebody like for instance on Dallas with Derrick Jones, I was like, him being a receiver. I mean, yes, he's. I was like, the problem is that they're really tall, and that's sort of gonna be a problem, just because you don't have like that. You don't really have past like 6'3", outside of like quarterback and like lineman out there that big, but the way he's able to jump, I'm like, yeah, no, he could be a receiver out here. Um, but I was like, now granted, I was like, it would just look different, but I think they'd be able to play. I think they would. It just wouldn't work with. Like if you said this 2000s, I was like, I think it'd be a lot more to be honest. Because I was like, it's because of the way that the NBA play nowadays. It's more wide open. It's shooting threes. Um, but I was like, I was like, the NFL players are going to be smaller than the NBA players, of course. I was like, I don't think all of them will have the same jumping ability and stuff like that. But I think it just be a different looking game. I actually think they probably could. The problem is that I think the reason why everybody's overwhelmingly NBA than anything is because there's nothing of the NFL we can see that would transfer to NBA skills the way that we could with vice versa. And it's like, well, we've already seen NBA players go to the NFL and make it work with just some of their basketball skills, but we're not. But we can't really see it the other way because it's like, okay, you run fast, maybe the footwork, uh, maybe jumping, but shooting, and that's really what we're talking about here. The NBA has shooting, the NFL has hitting. That's really it, and it's like who can pick this up? Because even though people are like the NBA don't have these type of players no more, it's like sorta. It's like they sort of still do. Like people want to ham up this generation of NBA play, and I'm like, they just shoot threes. They're not like I'm not over here being like, yo, everybody over here got handled. They're like, no, they got enough dribbles to pass it, but you still go to the main play. So I'm like, I'm like, we can't think of off the top of our head of being like Kapuku and the Ku will be over here being a small forward or something like that. Like, and the height will make a difference. But I'm like, no. I think you could find 30 NFL players that could play in the NBA. Now, we want to do something where we took like where we were just like where you go make a league out of it, then yes, I think the NBA would work the NFL in that situation, in that type of matchup. But I was like, I think it's overblown that the NBA players would just come in the NFL and just run amok and be like dope as hell, while the NFL players would go in the NBA and be like, see, this is why, I was like, let's be honest. Like the NFL has like so many spots available that you have a better shot, a better opportunity than the NBA, where it's like the small gets there. So yes, you could say that yes, the NFL players wouldn't make it because the NBA player they're not making it in the NBA. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about basically if I'm picking Miles Garrett and like I said, I just said Puka Nacua. I was like Cooper DeJean that just got drafted. If I'm picking those people and I'm like, all right, cool, you get to go in the NBA and we'll give you a year or something like that. I was like, then that's different. But yeah, if you just talking about like, yeah, I was like, yes, that's not a fair comparison because I was like, anybody can walk on to a football team. Same thing with the NFL of being undrafted. You can walk on there. Hell, you could probably try to walk on as a regular person onto the NFL. You just ain't gonna make it because you're gonna get smoked. But you could try it. But I was like, NBA is not the same thing because it's like you aren't even gonna be able to get into this gym without any type of NBA stuff because they're already looking at you like, nope, nah, we already done seen. But the NFL, like, we'll give you a chance. Can you move here? Can you move here? Can you move here? Can you try this? Can you try this? Can you try this? Oh, you can't? Nope, okay. So that, I was like, that's not a fair comparison of that street of trying to get in that way. But if we were just like, hey, you get to join on a team training camp and see how it goes and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure we could pick. Cause I'm like the thing is that we're over here looking at the ones that are just like the names, where it's just like where we're over here like Josh Allen or like the people I rattled off, you know who they are. But I'm like, there's a couple other people that probably the third, like the fifth corner. They play on special teams. I was like they the fourth lineman. I'm like those type of people. I'm like yeah, so they can make it. Just like how like there's some NBA player on the sitting on the bench right now. He could play, but he can't play because if he could, he'd probably be playing him. Also money and stuff like that and more politics. But he'd be playing, but he's not. But you also think that he's gonna be able to be like, man, bump this. I'm going to the NFL. And it's like one money in the NBA is a lot better. So therefore, even at the yeah, the notion. But also, no. Because guess what? He would if it means for a chance to actually play and be somebody. If you actually think you got enough talent to do so. So it's not just a one-way street with this. It's the same way as well too. Like guess what? If you at the bottom of the business, you got to go overseas, and it's like yes, I know the money and it's better for not getting hit. But if you knew like, man, I'm good enough to probably, like how Kyler Murray was over here being like, I can play baseball, or I could be a starting quarterback, number one pick. While the money better, money drives all this whole thing. It's also like I get to be the top star, the top spot, top position, the top of the draft. I'm gonna take that. And I was like, yeah. So you tell me that 15 man on the bench that ain't getting no burn, ain't getting looked at, ain't getting no chance where he probably think he can yoke up anybody else and get on the court and shoot the lights out, but he can't. But he can't. But you tell me that if someone told him like, hey, you can be the starting corner over here. I mean, I was like, yeah, once again, that's hitting, but or you could be a wide receiver. We need a top receiver. You know what? You could be number one receiver. We're gonna give you a shot. I think they might take it. There's a little more glory on that one. I was like, 15 guy on the bench that nobody ain't ever gonna know. You at least number one receiver on the team. I was like, people gonna say something about you at some point. Either in the town or was like, or you do well enough. So what I'm saying is that I was like, I know it. I was like, all this ain't all about skill that I'm talking about. What I'm saying is, I do think you could probably find 30 people that got enough skill to play in the NBA. I was like, we just don't get to see it in the same way at the NFL because I was like, those things don't exactly translate in a way that running, jumping, all that other stuff from the NBA can. Steph Curry ain't going to the NFL. What are you gonna do? And that's what I'm saying. They picking out people like NFL could pick out people NBA can too. They're like LeBron James. It's like, well, yeah, Russell Westbrook. Yeah, I was like James Harden. I mean, he could probably be a quarterback. I ain't gonna lie, James Harden might be actually a pretty good quarterback. Now that I think about it, that's actually a pretty good one. I'm not gonna lie. Paul George be a receiver though. Yeah. But if we're doing like star players, if we're doing star players, then yeah, I would like NBA probably would have that a lot more than NFL. Depending on how we mean star player. I mean, with the NFL, not we know what that means in the NBA, but NFL a little different. Um, I was like, I guess I just wanted to see more of a compelling argument. And I was like, everybody was just like NBA, 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 and I'm like, I was like, yeah, but I don't think it's the landslide you make it sound like, but it's like, but if we're just talking about overall, I'm like, nah, you could probably find 30 NFL players. I was like, but it's like, but the reason I said a lot of that and not necessarily the skill portion of it, it's just because a lot of people didn't really talk about the skill portion of it. They basically was like, if you could play in the NBA, you would have because less hitting and start, like you get to see your face and all that other stuff. So they were talking about other reasons as well too. But anyway, it was a fun little discussion and stuff like that. Yeah. That's all. Anyway,